Hello everyone and welcome back to another One Treasure Cruise video. We are of course back for the Pirate King Adventures versus Ace with a level 100 plus, which should last until 150. But this team is very accessible in my opinion. The only support we have on this team is Mr. 3, and honestly it is not required, but it does make this a lot easier to use. So if you don't have Mr. 3, don't click off the video. Same goes for any of the characters here, because this team is honestly one of the most flexible teams I've ever made. Big Mom is basically glass cannon. I mean, she's just there for damage and threshold reduction, which I mean anyone can do. So if you don't have characters, don't worry, you can replace them. Of course, you do need Kaido to be super evolved into his 6+ form. As for his level limit break, I don't think you need any level limit break. Of course, having level limit break 3 will help with damage a lot, but I think you literally gain nothing from being at level limit break 5, because the only change to the special is that his increased damage taken goes through immunity, but the enemy doesn't have immunity to increased damage taken on this quest, so I don't think you even need it. It doesn't make any difference. Obviously, the higher stats your units are, the better. Along there is a great unit to proc the super class of our friend Captain Jinbei, and also to give a ton of tertiary damage effects on the final stage. By that I mean chain boost, enemy increased damage taken, and base attack boost. He's also a boosted character, giving a guaranteed extra drop, which is awesome. Now, Strike Crew, I think this is the most valuable player on this team, if I'm being honest, besides Jinbei, of course. This character does it all. He gives a damage reduction, which we need to get the buffs from Jinbei. It's a bit complicated why, but you need some other damage reduction buff. Then you use Jinbei's superclass to extend it, and then you get the enhancements from Jinbei's special. Besides that, it also gives you an attack boost and color affinity, the two buffs I needed, as well as reducing damage reduction and threshold. I mean defense up. So there's a lot of things that Strike Crew does, and obviously proccing the superclass of Jinbei, we need 2 characters from Jinbei's list to proc it. And of course, Jinbei's superclass will also give us a chain multiplicative buff, going along with the chain boundary from Sabo, the chain boost from our Arlong, and we have a very potent combo in terms of chain. We are going to keep the weak orb boost we get from the enemy 1.1x, but we are going to buff it with the Jinbei special to 1.4x, meaning it's a lot more usable. We do have a conditional attack boost from our Kaido. Of course, we have super class and super type. We have 4 characters that have type advantage that are going to be hitting like a truck. That's also another reason why I use Big Mom. Absolute glass cannon on this team, very high damage. And don't forget the koi ship, otherwise you won't have a chain boundary on the final stage. Koi ship, the main reason is their special, and we can get their special already very fast because of Jinbei's special. So that's a basic rundown of this team, and I think we should just go straight into it. We have 4 guaranteed drops, and this team should work for level 150. So I will definitely have a video out once I get to that level, testing it and showing you guys the process, which is basically the same as how you'll see now in this video, but just to show you that it is possible. So that's enough yapping. Let's get straight into the video with our friend Captain Jinbei. Okay, so a little about this team in terms of the speed of it. The Mr. 3 support is great because it gives us 2 turns of cooldown on our Sabo. Sabo is the main person we have to worry about in terms of cooldown. Besides that, everyone else is final stage, so we don't really have to worry about them. So Strike Crew, even though it does seem like they are a bit higher cooldown, we don't have to really worry about that. Now, what you do have to worry about, however, is the amount of damage you're taking, because we are going to use the automatic special that activates from our Kaido captain to kill the resilience mobs on stage 4. So just make sure that you don't, whatever you do when you're stalling here, do not get to above 10k damage. So yeah, these mobs, you can just kill them. The stall isn't that much, to the point where you have to like stall 1 turn for every single mob. Just get Sabo down to 6 turns of cooldown after stage 2. So you should be leaving stage 2 at 6 cooldown. So I just need to stall 2 more turns. Obviously, not having Mr. 3 means you have to stall another 2 turns, which is why it becomes a bit risky. But you can still take a few hits, so you shouldn't have to worry about proccing the Kaido. It won't happen. Just be cautious about it, and you can obviously check in this Captain's tab how much damage have you taken, and just be below 10k. You should be able to tank about 3 hits from these regular mobs, so you have a lot of room, so just be cautious and you will be fine. Stage 3 against these guys, so we are going to get the 50% damage reduction from Mr. 3 support and the 2 turns of cooldown. And honestly, that 50% damage reduction is better than the 90% we would have gotten from Jumbe's special here, because we need to take 10k damage still here. So we would take way less than 10k here, if I'm being honest, if we did have the Jumbe damage reduction. Now, it kind of balances out. If you didn't have Mr. 3 support, you'd have to stall 2 extra turns, and you'd probably just be below the 10k to proc Kaido. In which case, you won't have the damage reduction from Mr. 3, obviously, so you will take a lot less damage here. But since you took damage in the prior stages, it all balances out to 10k either way. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry, but you should be fine even if you don't have Mr. 3. Everything should work just as smoothly as it should. At this stage, we can just kill. The enemy is very weak, and remember, after level 100, the stage 3 and 4 do not scale anymore. That's their final HP, so don't worry. As you saw there, we took 17k, meaning we can proc the super class of our, super type. The automatic special of our Kaido. And that's going to get rid of these back mobs, which is very, very nice. The fact that we don't have normal attacks only is a huge benefit to us. I'm surprised they did that. It makes it so much easier. And we also get a 1-0 on Kaido to just ensure that we actually kill. But since we use Jumbe's special, our ship is now charged. We can use them to give us a chain boost. Now, we don't really care about the chain boost itself. The main thing is that we can now get the 3-turn chain boundary from our Sabo special instead of 1 turn, meaning it will carry over into the final stage. At this point, we have full board of matching orbs from Kaido's special. We have a lot of chain, and we have a very vulnerable enemy. So this stage is even easier and more guaranteed of a kill than the other ones, so really don't have to worry. The chain attack down is also very weak, only being about 2.5x. And now this is where we get into the big damage, the spicy damage. So we have a 1 orb on Kaido, so also remember that's going to help with damage. So we do get a full board of recovery orbs, and the enemy has all 3 of the defensive buffs, or the main ones. So that means we can get every single bit out of Arlong's special, which is awesome. So use Arlong first before you start removing the debuffs. And then at this stage, you can use the super class of what's his face. I'm noticing a bit of an issue here. Our Straw Hat crew is not ready. I think we needed to stall 1 more turn. So you need to stall until your Sabo is at 5 turns of cooldown, or you can use a support that will give 1 turn of cooldown to Straw Hat crew on the final stage. So there's a lot of different options for that, obviously, because Straw Hats, they have a lot of support options. So I'll just show you a list afterwards. But since I am out of place for today and I need to upload this video, I'm just gonna walk you through how this would work. So I used Arlong now, and then you're supposed to use Straw Hat crew. That gives you an attack boost, color affinity, and most importantly, the damage reduction. Then you use the super class of Jumbe to extend the damage reduction to 3 turns and give you a chain multiplicative buff. Then you use Jumbe's special, which will and also we also need another turn for Kaido, so definitely stall 1 more turn and everything would be fine. And then you'll have the selection screen where you can choose which buffs to enhance. in which case you should enhance the orb boost that you got, the weak orb boost. And then finally you can use your Kaido to give a super type and get rid of 3 tons of the threshold. And then you can also use his special to give you a conditional attack boost for the enemy increased damage taken we got from Arlong. Finally, you can use Big Mom to give us a threshold to get rid of the enemy's threshold. And that's basically it. Honestly, if I'm being honest, use Big Mom before Jinbei, because then you can actually enhance 2 buffs instead, because Big Mom does heal a bit of HP. You can also use Koi special for a bit of extra HP just to get you over the 66% mile, in which case you can use Jinbei twice, or his enhancement buffs twice. And with all that, you'll have an attack boost, or boost, color affinity, enemy increased damage taken, a base attack boost, chain boundary, chain additive, chain multiplicative, a conditional attack boost for that increased damage taken that the enemy will have of 1.75x. And Jinbei is a boosted character, meaning he has enhanced stats. We have a 1-0 orb on Kaido, and we also have Big Mom and Sabo dealing just as much damage, just a teeny bit less. That's it for the team. It definitely should deal over 2 billion, I think, if I'm being honest. Obviously we don't have any last tap, so don't worry about that. But with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe. If you do need replacements, then ask me down in the comments. Make sure to add that support to Straw Hat Crew, or just stall an extra turn, and make sure that you only leave stage 2 once your Sabo is at 5 turns of cooldown, and everything should be fine. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, and I'm out.